Confession: recently realized I'm a manipulator and a liar. Lost my relationship last September. Was second relationship of my 21 years of life. After breakup, I realized I might have been manipulating my ex. I used to tell her that I'm very lucky to have her. I really meant it. She can get anyone in her life. Am I really capable of making you happy? Deep down in my heart, I knew yes, I can make her happy. But why did I still say that thing? Don't cheat on me, please. You will never leave me, right? I knew she will never do such thing. I lied to her for the first time. I used to say I hate liars, which I really do. And I got caught. I'm dumb, I can't lie. And then I thought again, why did I say all those things? Why did I lie? And then at last I was just blaming my previous relationship for my insecurities and manipulative behavior. I never got a chance to apologize, and now I'm disgusted of myself. I ruined her first time being in a relationship. I became exactly what she hated the most. I will never forgive myself for what I did.
Self-reflection is a huge step in becoming the best version of yourself. A lot of people out there don't like to see the wrong in themselves. Hence, after a breakup, you always hear from people what the other person done, how bad they were treated. But for you to sit back and see your faults and actually feel remorse for your behavior, actually says a lot about you. It's not too late to tell your ex that you have looked back and can now see the poor behavior you brought into the relationship. Showing her complete remorse without excuses and wishing her well with her life will definitely help yourself and your ex move on.
You have to forgive yourself, take accountability, and learn to move forward. We all make mistakes. I made much bigger ones and ruined my marriage/family. Just got to move forward and work on ourselves every day. At least you are recognizing the mistakes you made that led to it ending. That is a great first step.
Advice from an oldish guy who has been married for 3 years. I suggest, in your next relationship, that you sit down and talk about this issue and any other issues you might have. Talk about it, and tell your partner to keep you accountable and call you out on the BS. Talk about your fears and dreams, and most importantly, talk about finances. You have the perfect opportunity to learn this one valuable lesson. Accountability. Take time out and look within yourself. Find the mistakes, reflect, and move on. Also, surround yourself with people who can help keep you accountable. Hope it helps. I had the same problem and could overcome it, but it took me a long time. You can do it. Dog, I'm in GL. This shit hit home for me. My ex-husband lost me by lying and telling me every day he loved me and shit, and then turning around and telling me how much of a terrible person I was every day. He went online and spent $150 on private chat rooms jerking off to whores while I was asleep and pregnant. Lied about the specifics of it like 5 times, when I already knew the whole truth. I gave him a chance to tell me the truth, and he didn't. And he would get mad at me when I brought it up. He would also manipulate me into having sex with him when I didn't want to, and tell me that it was because I didn't love him. He lied about going to the casino, and when it got to the point he lied about stupid shit, I knew I couldn't trust him anymore. And what's the point in being with someone you can't trust? And being with someone who makes you feel like you're worthless? You know?
This is really good insight for someone of your age. My advice: do the work now on yourself to really unpack why you have these behaviors and use them on those close to you. As someone in their 30s doing the work now to heal my past traumas, it really is a blessing in disguise that you've picked up on your behavior and how it could be manipulating others. Get to the bottom of it, address the root cause, and ultimately do better for your future and those around you. Smiley face.
Okay, you have some interesting insights into your behavior. Let's unpack it. You lied to someone and hurt them badly. What have you done to take ownership of your bad behavior? Have you went to her and apologized? Assure her she did nothing wrong, and all of the failure of the relationship is your fault. You can ask for forgiveness only after you take responsibility and make a complete apology with no excuses. Just tell her you are sorry for doing XYZ and you hope one day she will be able to forgive you. Then going forward, you need to make sure you don't do the lying and manipulating again. This will show you are serious about being a better person, someone who learned from their mistakes.
Original poster. Actually, I don't really know why my relationship ended, TBH. The last time we had our conversation, she said she needed some space as she was going through with her own problems that time, which I was aware of. How do I explain? I'm somewhat a let's solve this thing right now kind of guy, and she is someone who needs space when she was having trouble sorting out her own thoughts. We had this thing before too, and I remember we fought one time because I was not respecting her boundaries. But the second time, I told her that when she is ready to talk she can come to me anytime, I will be waiting. I couldn't hold back and texted her on the third day and probably said things I should have not said. At that time, I recently had surgery and was in the hospital, so I was also going through with my own stuff, and I was not in my right mind, not trying to make excuses. I know my wrongs, and I'm completely aware of what I said, which I should have never said. And yes, if I ever had a chance to apologize, I would have done it. By the time I realized it was already too late, she blocked me from all SNS, even my PH number. I did learn from the mistake, and I'm trying to move on. Easier said than done, though. I'm still regretting grinning face with sweat.
Well, I think you're a bit overthinker. Maybe I'm wrong, but there is such a vague wording, so I'm not sure I really got you right. First, what did you lie about? You said you lied to her for the first time. What was the lie about? Second, if I understood you right, you told her that she can get anyone in her life, because you wanted her to think that you're a good guy who wishes her the best and can even let her go if she wants to, so she would understand that you are the one who would make her happy. But you actually wasn't ready to let her go. Yes/no. If yes, that's, of course, not a thing that I'd recommend you to do, but this is also not a catastrophe, so I would not say you're as evil as you write about yourself. Don't blame yourself, it's enough just to realize that it doesn't work, and it works better when you are saying what you really feel and think. It will lead you to the better result. My advice will probably sound weird, but I'll try to formulate it better. We, as a society, always consider manipulators as egoists, so the advice, focus on yourself and not on others, seems weird, but that's what you need to do. What makes somebody a manipulator? That's when you focus too much on other people and their reaction, and what they think, and what they do. This is your whole world. So of course, as a consequence of this, you try to get some certain reactions from people, and you start to make some strategies how to get it. That leads to the situations where the chain is not like, I feel it - I say it, I want it - I say it, and it is more like, I want to get some reaction from you - what should I say to make you feel the way that will lead you to react like that - saying it. But you can never be sure of what's inside the other person's head, your strategy will never work out like 100%. So the situation becomes a cheap show where nobody is happy and everybody is acting instead of living and feeling. Trying to control the things you can't really control is the most exhausting thing in our everyday life, so it will never make you happy. That's why I'm telling you to focus on yourself and your own feelings instead of focusing too much on what other people do and feel. When you're focused on yourself, you are just honest about what you feel and what you need, and you say it directly instead of creating another cheap show to get the reaction you need, so you become a simple person who is easy to communicate with.
Original poster. Yes, you can say, I overthink a lot. The lie was about something personal. Sorry, I can't say it, but I can tell you it was the worst decision I have ever made in my life. She was sad when she knew I was lying about it. She tried understanding why I lied because I was in a rough spot myself and had to choose between telling the truth or lying, and my dumbass chose to lie because I thought the truth was gonna hurt her even more, but still I got caught, and it was the same thing, she got hurt even more. I started telling her she deserves better after I was caught lying, but she was still there for me. You can say I was not happy with the decision I made. I hated myself for that. It was not because I wanted to be a goody-woody boy, but yeah, I was terrified of losing her, so it's a both yes and no answer. I will keep that in mind. This was by far the best explanation I can ever get. Thank you so much for your response and time. Yes, I'm working on myself and my behavior. Smiling face with smiling eyes.
Listen man, it's normal you are thinking this way. I'm not saying what you did was awful, but neither was good. Forgive yourself and try to improve yourself. A relationship is also an experience. You learn many things, what to say and what to not say, how to treat the other person. As for the apology, you don't need to try anything now. Maybe in many years, if you happen to come across this ex, you will be far more mature and better to handle, and only then you can try for an apology, but you will see how it goes. Life is shit sometimes and we treat others badly in some occasions. It's called a mistake and it's human. The good thing is you know you did a bad thing, and that shows how good of a person you are. Keep going and good luck in your journey, smiley face.
It's hard to realize these things when you act out subconsciously. I've realized I'm toxic as well, but the important thing is you realized what you did wrong and you feel bad for it. That's a good start to changing. You might not be able to take it back now, but at least you'll know what not to do in the next relationship. That feeling of disgust doesn't go away, but it does die down when you start becoming better.
I guess in my own life I never understood women or girls. I always did my best to be nice and try to be a gentleman. And now look where I am. The woman I love would rather marry a stranger than someone who would die for and do anything for her. And forget about being nice and a gentleman, she lied to me, she used me, she led me on and saw other guys behind my back. I guess I am slowly realizing that I will never have a girlfriend or get married because women just want to use me to do things for them. I am not a guy, I am a robot. The irony of all this is I am addicted to porn and the women are using me, sucking the life out of me and bleeding me dry. I will forever rue the day I started on the road to porn. Women are leeches. And they make me feel like a creep, a weirdo, or a monster. I am just angry, sad, and sick all of the time. The crazy part of all of this is I still love Michelle and she will haunt me until I die. I will forever wonder what went wrong and why she married him and is not with me. I love you, Michelle. Diana Krall, why should I care?
So you lied to her for the first time and got caught. That phrasing makes me think you're not being entirely honest right now. Kinda sounds like you just got caught and lie for the first time. Either way, the lesson here is obvious. Don't lie to people you care about. Like, generally don't lie, but there's a big difference between lying to yourself and telling your boss you can't come in unexpectedly when you could, as an example of an acceptable lie, MO. So be intentional about being honest going forward. You're still young and figuring things out. Forgive yourself, but recognize what you did and why it's a problem, and move forward knowing you've grown a bit more from the experience.
There's this girl I work with at my job. Her name is Alex and I really like her a lot, but she has a boyfriend, so I know nothing will come of it. But it is so hard because when I see her, I want to kiss her and embrace her. I try and make polite conversation, but all I can do is stare at her and just tell myself this is as far as you will get. I am realizing that nothing really changes what we go through or how we feel. I know when Alex gets married, I will still be interested in her. And then I will have another possibility dead before it gets off the ground. I don't want to be a spinster, but I feel like the door is being closed before I even get a chance. My life is a cemetery of just things which just died or got killed before they could take off. My high school sweetheart just got married several years ago, and now the woman I love and want to marry is married to someone else. I feel like I am being ripped apart inside. I guess my life is an episode of The Young and the Restless.
Thank you for sharing. Most people never take the time to look at themselves with an honest eye and admit your wrongs. I know when I finally started accepting responsibility for my own shortcomings, I began to grow and work on being better. I started in my mid-30s and am now 44 years old. I only wish I'd started in my 20s. And I wish my partner could do this. He's had 3 failed marriages and he actually blames everything on his exes. He did the same thing to me when we broke up. So, my last effort is counseling with him. He's a good man, but at his age, 55, I don't know if he will change at all. But, you give me hope. I think it's beautiful that you took the time to share it with us as well. Ty, smiling face with smiling eyes.
It sounds like you're going through a tough period of self-reflection, recognizing behaviors in yourself that you're not proud of. It's a brave step to acknowledge these things. While you can't change the past, this insight gives you an opportunity to grow and change for the better. Understanding why you acted a certain way is a key part of this journey. Our actions are often driven by deeper fears and insecurities. Perhaps exploring these with a therapist could help you understand yourself better and learn healthier ways to cope and relate to others. Remember, forgiveness, both self-forgiveness and seeking forgiveness from others, can be a powerful step in healing and moving forward.